introduced again to big fish, giant fish that will eat you. No, maybe not eat you. I don't know what we want to call it because
How about we call it Skookum Week?
today it's Skookum Week or Skookum Day at least.
Skookum Day, that's right.
Skookum Day because all this week we're doing shark movies. We're doing bad shark movies. I don't think we're doing any of them that we were like, hey, yeah, that was actually pretty damn good. Yeah. I think for at least so far. But the one that we are diving into today is this wasn't a sci-fi movie, was it, or was it?
I don't think it was. I don't think it was. No.
Okay. It's relatively recent. Well, now 2014.
7 years ago.
It is what movie?
It's called Avalanche Sharks.
Yes.
So some explosions are set off in the mountain, and it wakes up this great spirits that are part of the mountain called skookums, and they
Skookum or skookum?
Skookum, I guess.
Yeah,
skookums, because I want to cuddle with them.
Yeah.
And they terrorize the people that are skiing on. It's actually at Mammoth, which is really weird that it was named. And they manifest in the form of sharks in the movie Avalanche Sharks.
But when an ancient predator is disturbed from slumber...
So there's a story around here about a mystical creature summoned to protect the mountain. They say it swims through it like a shark.
What the hell? What started out as a mammoth vacation...
Great title, guys. Wait, is Avalanche Sharks? Yeah,
Avalanche Sharks. Yeah,
Avalanche Sharks, also kind of known as snow sharks. I've heard.
Oh, is it?
I've seen on.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Snow
You can
sharks.
see a little.
Maybe I'll put that on the screen if I want to.
Right.
And also it shares a close kinship apparently with sand sharks.
Yes, and they even mentioned like swimming through dirt or sand sharks or something like that in the movie. I did catch that.
So this was just
surprisingly.
How did we find this one?
I think this was recommended to us by some friends of ours.
Okay,
yeah. A few movies that we're doing this week were kind of recommended by some friends of ours.
It's
who shall remain nameless and blameless.
Yeah. Although if you know our names, maybe you know their names.
Right.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. So this one's crazy because we have this ghost, the poltergeist of the mountain, I guess, some spirit of the mountain that manifests as sharks. And just go around killing people as they try to ski or as they like bathe in bikinis and all that kind of stuff. What'd you think of Avalanche Sharks? I mean, you didn't know anything about it going into it. Right?
Never heard of it until like a week ago at the earliest. I expected it to be crappy and stupid and dumb and.
It exceeded those.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely crappy. I should mention that. This was on Amazon Prime, right? Yep. That's where we watched it, and then also Sharknado is on Amazon. Yep. A few of these that we're doing this week
I think
are on Amazon Prime.
Of them are on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so if you're a glutton for punishment and you have Amazon Prime Video, you can watch all of these yourself, and probably a lot more. I know there's a lot that we're towards the end of the week or at the end of the week. I think we're going to kind of. Mention some ones that we couldn't get to that didn't make the cut, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, Avalanche Sharks, I mean, obviously I kind of knew the premise at least. I knew that it was sharks like basically swimming through snow. So you see fins going through snow. They swim through snow like they swim through water. I had very bottom of the barrel expectations, and I don't think it even met those. I think this movie's just. First of all, I was kind of confused when I watched this movie. I didn't really know who was who. Or what they were doing or whatever. I think they mentioned a bikini contest at some point.
But we
that
never
happens.
We see bikinis, but we don't see anything.
Girls in bikinis, yeah. The special effects are cheesy, but I expect them to be.
I think they're a little bit better than Sharknado's.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad. Yeah, I mean I didn't have any kind of complaint about that, but I found the movie pretty uninteresting. Again, the acting is not great. Probably the most fun guy is either the old prospector guy whose name is like Duffy Dufferson or something, but we can call him Gus Chiggins if you want. Because he's the one that knows about. He's like, it's old Skookum. Skookum's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Skookum killed my dog. He's kind of fun, and also I thought that the search and rescue kind of guy was kind of fun. The guy that gets mauled and just basically rolls around on the snow for a while. He's like, "Please save me, save me!" To tie him that guy was kind of funny.
He never dies.
He does eventually. He does finally.
He gets run into the truck, but does he die after that?
Yeah, he gets killed.
Huh.
He does. I forgive you for not really paying attention. He gets killed. He
That's
gets
so
killed because the only way to get rid of the Avalanche Sharks
is to
straighten up the totems. Because when the explosion was set off at the beginning, which I guess they were doing that to create an avalanche because they do that from time to time. That is what disturbs the totems. The totems are standing straight up, and then they all start sagging. So there's just some random skier girl who goes up there, and you don't know really anything about her, do you?
You just know that she's Japanese or something.
Right, but I don't know who that person is. Her
or
sole
how she
purpose,
knew about it.
her sole purpose in the movie is to go up and straighten the totems. Yeah. And that makes the sharks disappear one by one.
Maybe she had a psychic connection to the...
She might have, but I wish they would have explained skookum. That. She could have had flashbacks of things that she never saw, like Ellen Brody.
How hilarious would it be if she had flashbacks to, like, the first Jaws movie?
To Richard Dreyfuss going like, ow! Or Quint eating crackers. Yeah, that would have been cool. I would have given this movie 4 fins then. But no, I thought this movie was just kind of, I don't want to say confusing because that implies that I'm really stupid and didn't understand it. But I really, for the first few parts of for the first 20 minutes of the movie, I was like, who are these people? Like, what are they doing? What is their relationship?
I don't think this movie really cares about story.
No, I don't think it does either. There's a lot of... there's a lot of what almost feels like, and I felt the same way kind of about Sharknado, although we didn't mention it. There's a lot of what feels like a lot of second unit stuff. Like, hey, go shoot all these skiers and snowboarders, and we'll just inject that in the movie so that you know that you're at a ski resort or whatever. But it's like you see it at times it almost seems like it's a X Games documentary or something, and then it'll flashback, then it'll go back to some characters.
It's like they paid for like footage, like licensed footage,
got some GoPro stuff,
already filmed ski stuff, and
which I mean, I get it. You have some establishing shots, and you're like, hey, you're at a ski resort, but they don't concentrate on. I feel like any of the main characters right at first, so I didn't really know who was who or who to care about or whatever. And then what's up with like the old ass sheriff and the young blonde girl? I was like, honey, he's too old for you.
Well, she looked kind of ragged too a little bit.
I was like, why? Well,
what's up with the main ski patrol guy who's like an Olympiad winning medal and just
I don't know, but to me he was at least a little bit more interesting because he was like, I don't care about searching for your brother.
We had the generic Marine guy who's like all the characterization he got was he was in the Marines.
I'm a Marine, so I can do this.
I can shoot guns really well. I can do all this stuff. Yeah, it just felt like, you just have like these bunch of different groups of people, and it wasn't like, and each one was just like cannon fodder basically for the snow sharks or the avalanche sharks.
I agree.
So yeah, I'm with you on it. I like that the CGI is better than Sharknado, but even then it's also like not a lot happens. It just has like a bunch of filler and a bunch of scenes and
bunch
it's just
of stuff
like,
kind of thrown together.
I think when the thing you got to realize when you're making these kind of movies is just like fill it with as much action as you possibly can. I'm sure that's expensive, but just do it, man. Like sacrifice everything else but the action. Like just please keep us excited about random things that are happening and stuff like that. And like there's no like logic between the sharks because like they can go get people like. It seems like they can go through buildings sometimes, but they can't go through buildings other times. Or they can go through like the hot tub sometimes and not the other times.
Yeah, it's like they're spirits basically, but sometimes they're solid and sometimes they're not.
I think what we should have had was a Avalanche Sharks Ghostbusters crossover. So imagine like Egon walking in and like with their guns, their proton packs and stuff, and zapping those ghouls to what I'm saying?
That would have been cool. I think, to me, the most entertaining part of this movie was when the guy and the girl are out there in the snow, and the girl's like, I love you, and the guy doesn't say it back, and then she gets eaten by a shark, and first she's just like a torso, like in a head and stuff.
That looked cool.
I thought that was funny, but the guy just takes off. He just like completely leaves her, first of all, but then later on, he's like,
I loved her.
The shark ate her because I didn't say that I loved her, so then he thinks like, I love everybody, I love my parents, I love you, and at first the sharks don't eat him, and he's like, it's working, and then he gets eaten. I thought actually that was kind of borderline entertaining. I kind of chuckled. I chuckled first of all at the fact that his girlfriend gets bitten in half and he just beelines it. He just takes off. But then I kind of chuckled at the fact that he was like, I love everybody, and then he gets eaten. But yeah, this movie's not very good. And again, I mean, these movies. we don't expect much out of them, but, they got to be at least a little more fun or a little more exciting or a little more something. So far, out of the 3 movies that we talked about, I mean, Sharknado is probably, to me, the most fulfilling, I guess. But yeah, this movie's not very good. There's no critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, unsurprising. In fact, I think for most of the rest of the week, there's probably not a critic score for these. But it does have a 5% audience score.
Hey,
so take that for what it's
worth. Five people out of 100.
5%
like
people, yeah. But yeah, how many fins would you give Avalanche Sharks? So let's recap. Sharknado, bomb.
Bomb for me.
Jaws 4, what'd you say, 2 fins?
I think I said 2 fins.
For me, 2.5 for Sharknado, bomb for Jaws 4. Avalanche Sharks would be...
I think I'm going to give it another bomb.
Yeah.
I wanted the explosions that cause the avalanche to actually blow up skookum or skookum.
I'm going to elevate this one a little just for the couple of scenes that made me chuckle, even though I didn't do that for the practical effects of Jaws 4. And I'm making my own rules. I'll give it 1.5 fins.
Wow.
Slightly better than a bomb. I'm being generous on this one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
For you, it was the worst day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday. There you go.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I
don't want to give everything a bomb.
Yeah, I feel bad about giving it a bomb.
I wouldn't. But
it's pretty bad. I mean, I would elevate Sharknado over this movie.
Okay.
If I can only give like one bomb.
So you got to think ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
You're like, oh, I set the bar like right here. Oh well. 1.5 for me.
I will say with Avalanche Sharks, I wasn't fighting to stay awake like I was with Sharknado. Though.
Yeah. Well, luckily, it's mercifully pretty short.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a common theme among all of these movies. I don't think any of them really exceeds 90 minutes, maybe. We looked at, because obviously there's a huge plethora of shark movies for us to choose from. We looked at a list, and there were some that honestly looked really promising and sounded like they would be really fun, but they were like almost 2 hours long. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not sitting through a shit-filled movie, like a crap shark movie,
for 2 hours.
That's like an hour and 50 minutes. Like, forget it. So those got vetoed. So all these movies, if you choose to watch any of them, just rest assured they're all mercifully fairly short. In fact, one is not even 90 minutes that we're going to talk about.
Maybe I'll give this one like a half a fin, like a undead fin.
A half a fin? Okay.
Like a ghost fin.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Avalanche fin.
Half a fin. All right. That's it.
That's it. All right, guys. You know the drill by now. Like, subscribe, share the show, and stay tuned tomorrow as we dig into another fun, maybe not, shark movie, and we'll see you soon, guys. Bye.